What's going on? We are back, everybody. ODELL's Roundtable, and always a lively break.
Yeah.
Always a good time. And also, we are now joined. We have some reinforcements for Alita. She felt like she was getting a little,
Yeah, she's getting bombarded. Tiara came to help her out.
We have Tiara in the house. How you doing, Tiara?
I'm good. I had to come and help my girl lead out.
ODELL,
What's up?
I think it's a good time you need to catch Tiara up. Give her a little recap of what she done looks like. Tell her what happened.
Well, we were just talking about, certain, getting the story.
Tell Alita that she got up off the bicycle.
She got up off that bike.
I said she don't even know.
What age did she get off the bike?
You gotta get off the bike sometime. Period. That's
The
it.
bike.
You got off your bike.
Basically, I'm gonna bring her up.
Yeah, I know because Dre just
Basically,
goes from A
Dre's
to
analogy, which was accurately spoken, at some point when women or young women start to feel themselves, instead of you riding your bike and chilling, you start to notice people noticing you. So you'll get off the bike and walk a little bit.
When
so
your
you
body
can
parts are
feel.
developing.
Yeah. So when you start noticing how hot you getting, start feeling yourself a
The
little
only
bit.
gotta be watching, so you riding the bike, you can't really see what you're working with because you're bending down. You're squatting.
You
Right.
can
Whenever you
see
stand
it more
up.
when you've been in
Nah.
there.
No, but you know what I'm saying. But I mean, whenever you walk, y'all walk and make it look a certain way when you walk.
Right. So at what age did you start walking more and biking less? It's a question.
12 years old.
More and biking less.
because we were saying basically when you started developing,
You started developing?
did you
Right.
start doing
Yeah,
things?
so I'm a tall girl, if you haven't noticed. So I always looked older than I was. So when I was about 11, I remember, of course, getting more cat calls from guys a lot. Honestly, it was a little uncomfortable because it was always older men. And so even
You
though
liked
I
it.
was a younger girl, I remember wearing Sophie cheerleader shorts and coming, to go and pay for the gas. My mom would be like, go and pay for the gas. And I would have to walk into the store. And I had, I was developing hips and
loved it.
everything else. And I would get stares from men all the time when I'm
11 years
11,
old.
12 years old. Honestly, it was a little uncomfortable, but
There's something wrong with that, but
No, that's
No,
not.
you
she-
answered the question.
No, I mean, she developed
but-
really early is what she was saying.
Yeah, but
she-
still, that's kinda-
the round thing started developing really early.
Yes.
And you're a little taller than most girls, so you look a little bit more mature. And you love the attention, all right? You love it.
Not really. I mean, it depends. I like it from people those in my age group specifically, but honestly, to some extent, it depends on how you're getting the attention.
Crazy.
Yeah, because we were talking about
Yeah.
when women need attention. That was
that was the segue into that.
People
Yeah.
need attention.
No,
but the
not
question was about
way.
women though.
And we just came off of talking about men or dogs, and we were trying. That's a part of why we started becoming dogs at such a young age, because y'all started putting on skimpy clothes and started provoking us.
Provoking.
To be like a menace.
Look,
So
he's
that's deflection. But Dre, you were supposed to break down your story about.
Oh, I wasn't supposed to break it down. You brought that in.
You didn't want to. You don't want to do that.
Nah, but let's keep it moving.
You said the people love you. Okay.
So you're not gonna tell him about the bike?
Nah, I'm not talking about what?
Right.
You're not
Bike.
gonna tell him anymore about
You
that.
put me on about the bike, but they don't want to talk about your. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Tiara's here. She actually had some ideas, some different things we were talking about as well. What about let's see here.
You're going up from the bottom, remember?
No, she
Well,
Tiara got the good ones
yeah,
too.
doing different
Tiara
things. I
got
mean, we don't have to say on certain order and anything. What about the size matter, man? Small hands and small feet and stuff like that. Is that a myth? If a man has small hands, small feet, or
That
whatever?
is a 100% myth. For real.
Oh,
I remember being a lot younger, and people would be like, "Oh, if he has big hands and big feet, that means he working with something." And and that does not mean anything. Like I said, I'm a tall girl, so I've dated taller men before, and I like to categorize them as boyfriend dick. Boyfriend dick is dick that you can work with.
I need the Urban Dictionary.
It's not big.
think you're getting one right
It's
now.
not
Hold on,
really,
go ahead, please, go
It's
ahead.
not big. And it doesn't really match up with him, but you'll do it because that's your boyfriend, you love him, so that means a lot. But that's boyfriend dick.
I
to
like
me.
that. I like that. Yeah, we're on some new vocabulary here.
Yeah, I call that boyfriend dick because it's just okay, it's definitely not the the biggest, but
that's my
hey,
boyfriend.
that's my boyfriend. I love him.
Listen, you got to do it.
So yeah, Yeah, that is definitely what's up.
Wow.
And I've
That was
had,
you really wanted, but he's your boyfriend, so
Wait a
you
minute.
kind of come along.
I mean,
It's
he
like-
is what I want. He satisfies me. Like, it's not like, oh, this is the biggest da 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 da. Like, nah, it's definitely not.
What other categories do you ladies have?
What do you mean?
Besides boyfriend, what other ones? How else would you categorize?
Like say like you got a boyfriend and he has what you want. Is that? What
I
is
mean,
that?
Is that husband dick?
No, let me go back. He has what I want, but no, he like, you know how dudes like to ask, is it the biggest you've ever had? He may lie like,
I ain't
Grown
never asked
grown
this.
person doesn't answer.
don't ever ask that question, but it's not the biggest that you've probably had, but it'll do, you know, like it'll do because, you know, it'll satisfy
It's
like,
your boyfriend.
like it's your boyfriend. Like, it's definitely not like ridiculously small, but it's average. Like, I guess that's what I mean. Like, when I say boyfriend dick is average.
I have to agree with my
Appreciate
friend.
the,
I am in shock.
that's the lingo. You know?
No, that part is great, but dudes actually ask?
There's some dudes that
Yes.
I'm just saying, let your work speak for you. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
But everybody's not like that. Everybody's not like that, and regardless of age, unfortunately, that's the thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
They will ask, and what do you want me to do? Lie?
I don't know. I never
gonna
asked. So shit.
No.
That's always the
No,
awkward
it's not.
question.
Thanks for
I judge you
asking.
by the thank you notes after
and,
this.
and another reason why I call it boyfriend dick is because honestly, you don't want some dick that like completely
I don't want
knocks
no
you
dick.
like you're just like,
Oh,
no,
wow.
I can't do that. Like honestly, I can't consistently like have sex with you. Like I literally can't have sex with you. Like,
Terry, so this you turned this into the penis show. I appreciate it.
Welcome to the show, Tia.
I was just like, okay, I'm just being real.
I appreciate that. Go ahead, O. What's next?
I gotta
do we say
I gotta
the
follow the
myth is
penis.
The myth is
So
debunked.
let's clear up. So is that so that was a fake? That was
So that's
an
an-
It's
accurate.
absolutely a myth. Size,
That's inaccurate.
hands and feet.
Yeah,
Big
like,
feet
there-
only means big
There
socks.
could be short
period.
dudes that have the whammer. You know, you'd be like, oh okay.
That's what you call the tripod effect.
The whammer.
Tripod effect. Okay, anything to change the top of that. You know, we all. Oh, that's just I got him right there. Man. They sipping drinks and everything, man. What about this whole love at first sight, man? Can you meet your soulmate just upon that first discussion?
You really look at me and ask that.
I'm not necessarily looking at you. I'm just saying in general. See,
I mean, you looking at me like you want me to
Like Drake can.
like I'm gonna say something beautiful about that.
well, I mean, I'm asking.
Speak the truth, man.
Man, hell no.
There's a myth. There's no soulmate.
There's
no.
a lust at first sight.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna knock you off at first sight. That's about it.
I'm gonna break it down.
But as I get to know you, that lust started to wear off if I don't like you.
What about a first conversation? You still, could that be a soulmate type thing? You just
No.
it's
It's
all
a
just
process
lust.
of getting there.
It's all just
It's
lust.
all the process. Like maybe you done that whenever we was riding bicycles. I did that at bicycle. That was in like 13, 14. That was in teenage love type stuff. But yeah, as an adult, ain't no such thing. Like
There's no love at first sight.
No.
There's no soulmates.
No. I didn't.
Okay,
I
so
agree.
I do believe that there are soulmates, but not at first sight. You don't know these people. Like they could be fine, they can have all the conversation, and then they can turn out to be assholes.
So
Debating
they
whether or not to
become
tell a
your
story.
soulmate. So they're not necessarily. So you're saying that?
Tell the story. Go ahead and tell it.
I'll set the
around,
stories
party
up.
people,
Tell it up.
So, this is Anita with M&P Nightly News. Anyway, so someone I used to talk to,
Okay.
great person. He's a musician. I'm a musician. We kicked it real cool and tough. He turned out to be a psychopath.
Okay.
Great conversation, really nice, dope in bed. Shout out to you. You know who you are. But he turned out to be crazy. Like he doesn't know how to treat people. He doesn't know how to speak to people effectively. So the conversations we would have were good, but if he was ever upset, he would fly off the handle over nothing.
But initially, y'all thought y'all were like soulmates.
Oh, absolutely not. Hell no, because I don't do that. However, based on what you were saying, conversation-wise, if they have good conversation, could they be your soulmate?
Okay.
That doesn't mean anything. Good conversation is just that, good conversation. You can't take anything else from that but good conversation. You have to get to know a person to believe that they are going to be your soulmate, period.
No love at first sight. No
Yeah.
soulmate.
Like, I mean, because
See,
nuts
we're
on
all
Nigerian is
gonna
still
agree
nuts on
on that
Nigerian.
one. Odell, this show needs an enema. Go and give us an enema.
I mean, I don't know what the enema is.
The enema is the question.
What enema do you have?
What's the one thing about the over 30 thing? What was that about?
Are you gonna jump to that?
Oh, like if you're a single woman and you're over 30, you must
Something wrong with you.
something wrong with her?
Right.
I think, what about single men over 30? Like, I think something is equally wrong with them.
What's different for men? Men are providers, so you might be building and kind of trying to get established.
And how come that same man can't be waiting on the single woman that he's gonna be providing for? And she has to be single as well too.
I got an answer. I got an answer.
You got something? You got answer?
It comes to equity, and it comes to equity, and let's be real. I'm about to piss off so many people, but a majority of women, won't say all, they're at their best physically in their mid to maybe late 20s, because you learn a little bit more sexually in your later 20s, maybe more than you was willing to do before.
Right.
So,
True.
as time goes on, a man starts making more money, feels more secure about himself, and things like that. So the scales start to tip a little bit. You know what I mean?
Pendulum swings.
The pendulum swings. Gravity takes effect. You know what I'm saying? Age becomes a factor. You know what I'm saying? Baggage becomes a factor. So while a man's, hopefully, his potential money-wise, security-wise, belief-wise, purpose-wise starts to grow, a woman's physical, the initial things that men look for in a woman may start to decrease. Not in all situations, but
It starts to lose, their value starts to drop a little bit.
At 30?
No, whenever.
no, over. Not at 30, not at 30, they popping.
I was about to say,
I would push it up to like 35.
35, 40, depending on who it is. I done
Exactly.
seen some beautiful, gorgeous.
I done seen some beautiful
right,
50.
but that's why I say
Right.
that's what's a
They're rare.
majority. You know what I mean? So that's why it has to be other things involved. So hopefully a little bit of the attitude comes down a little bit. They calm that down a little
Are you
bit.
saying
and
young women have
other
attitudes?
traits take the place of that an actual real man will actually care about, because it's not always going to be about the physical, no matter who you are.
Right.
But I'm just saying, from the face value of it, it starts the scales start to tip a little bit.
Hold on.
Discuss.
I see Tierra is thinking.
We did the 30, right? Let's bump it up to 35. So
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and say that a woman over 35,
Okay.
if she's still single, she probably wasn't woman enough.
Uh-oh.
She probably wasn't women enough.
Wasn't woman enough.
what the hell?
What is that?
Can you expound? What does
Woman enough
mean?
Woman enough.
Here goes Dre Day.
I mean, what? I mean,
Go ahead.
Please,
woman enough
say
is
words.
this. A woman that is 35 years old, she's had somebody that wanted to be with her, get with her. But she didn't want to be submissive. She was too busy doing her own thing, trying to dominate, trying to run, trying to do whatever. So she wasn't woman enough to say, you know what, this dude just pursued me, I need to go ahead and take this opportunity. They wait, and not all women, but y'all are young, but y'all understand, like, whenever you get a little older, these women out here, they've been waiting a long time. They be holding out for Mr. Right. He don't show up, but they had a dude that came along between all those years of dating that they passed up on him. And they should have probably went back to him and said, you know what, you would have won, but they don't do that, because why? They wasn't woman enough.
So they have to settle for Mr. Bullshit.
See, everybody settled it.
No. It's a long way from Mr. Right to Mr. Bullshit. There's a whole lot of space in between them.
Right.
Yeah.
The dude that had potential that you was holding out for this baller. Like y'all gotta admit, y'all be holding out, and you may
I
not
was
do
about
that,
to say,
but
right?
women do it all the time. They'll sit up and try to hold out for the baller.
Or the pretty boy Floyd or
There
whatever.
you go, or the 6'2" dude.
Well, let's just say they're ideals instead of using all these characteristics.
Exactly.
Their
That riles them up, though. That riles them up,
ideal
though.
dream guy, whoever that may
But
be.
then what happens is, okay, they're still single at a certain point in time. They could have went back to that dude and said, hey, look, let's do something. But they didn't, because why? They wasn't woman enough.
That's still settling.
That's not settling.
Because if that's not what you want, you're settling for something
It's
less
not what
than.
you want.
Well, this is what you want. Is that dream ideal thing? Is that really a
There's
reality?
no such thing as a perfect relationship. So you looking for perfection. You're not perfect, and as gravity start pulling on you,
Nobody's perfect.
Your value drops.
Can we debunk the myth that gravity sets in at 35, because that is also not a factor?
Well, you're not saying
Well,
you might begin.
Just saying.
But the thing is, I mean, like, see, you're young now. We're gonna find out.
We're not going to
We're gonna find out.
Really?
We're gonna find out whenever you're 35 if you're, everything's
You have
where
to
it
factor
is.
in things like this. If you're 35 with no kids, that means you have not breastfed. Therefore, gravity isn't doing too much on you.
You don't think so?
Not as much as somebody who was breastfed. What do you think?
Well, it's not just it's
drop
not
down to your knees
but
when
it's
you
not
turn
just.
35.
I
like
think
the switch
I think they're
goes
not just
off?
talking about the gravity. I think they're just talking about in general, just mind state, a whole bunch of things.
Yeah.
Starting to.
The issue that I have with what he's saying is that I understand, but I still fundamentally disagree.
Right, but you understand it though. You understand
I
what I'm
understand
saying.
what you're saying because I speak it in English. However,
She's speaking the English. She's speaking the
I
English.
disagree with you
English.
because you're saying that these women at this age should go back to a man. If you're not,
No, it's not you should go back.
But you never gave it a try. You said.
You never gave it a try, and you weren't humble enough to say, you know what? He was a good dude. I passed him up. I probably should have took that opportunity because I'm not going to keep getting all these opportunities. Being that this other myth of there's a shortage of men, and I passed
which
up.
also isn't true.
I passed up
That's
on these
another
good
myth.
men. I passed up on a couple of good men that I probably shouldn't have.
I think that could be said for both sexes, honestly. Like
This could be
I exactly, I really think that can be said for both sexes because I don't know, I can understand where you're coming from because you know I speak it in English too.
You speak it in English.
But like I really think that can be said for men and women. Like men who are like that age as well too. Like I'm giving them the side eye like what you been doing? You know what I'm saying?
It's totally
Like
different.
how come you haven't been, you know, how come
Can we
you,
talk about
are there any missed opportunities that you missed out on? Like
course.
some you know, so you can't just say like one for the other. So there's a reason why you're single. There's a reason why anybody is
But
single at
Tiara,
that
we don't
age.
have a biological clock. We're not limited.
But I'm not gonna be with
Yeah.
somebody just because I want to have a baby before I'm 35
Well,
either.
There we go.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead.
Let's discuss.
No, that's all. We're going to take another quick
Take
break.
another break. Oh, damn.
One time, man. You're going to come back. We'll wrap this last segment up. So we're going to expound more on that because I see that.
Sierra just got Dre. Like, I was like, word, Dre, you gonna take that?
You going to take that?
We gonna end like that on this break? Not me. No, I'm stop.
And that's why I went in and stepped in. 'Cause I know Dre was not going to let he was not going to let that happen. So we're going to take a quick break.
That's right, T. You tell him.
ODELL's Roundtable, and we'll be right back.